Good morning, North Hills. Welcome to week 2 of our devotionals. I hope you are doing well this morning. Today's word, today's thought from a theological perspective comes from Jeremiah 17. We're going to be looking at verses 7 and 8 kind of as a pair this morning. It says this, "But blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence," or trust in some versions. Then in verse 8 it says, "They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." Now, this is from a passage that's kind of comparing two kinds of people. The first kind of person is someone that trusts in themselves, right? That trusts in the power of humanity, that trusts in his own strength, his and her own strength. These two kinds of people. And the first one, this is heading towards the crescendo in the passage that is those two verses I just read to you, verses 7 and 8. But right before this, it describes this man who's trusted all in his own abilities, who has placed his life, and it's kind of described as purposefully turning away from God. God, I don't need you. I have me. And I'm all I need. And someone that kind of moves that direction, and he's cut himself off from his creator. And he's described as a tree or as a plant that is out in the sun, and it withers when it becomes too hot, and it withers and dies away. The idea is it can't survive without a consistent water, because a plant doesn't make its own water, does it? In fact, there's a word play in those passages where the Hebrew word for to see something and the Hebrew word to fear something are super similar. And so what he's saying is that this person who relies on himself, he doesn't see things right. He doesn't see the good that God is bringing to him. And so because he doesn't have that when things are hard and he can't see things correctly, he doesn't see the good in things, that he withers because he just relies on himself. The implication, of course, is that without God, we can't survive. And then it says, "Blessed is the man, however," right, "who trusts God and in whom God's trust matters." Like he actually repeats that word trust twice in verse 7, just for emphasis. Something that Jeremiah loves to do actually in his writings. He loves to use like word plays and repeat things. He's very poetic. And so he says that the man who trusts in God is tapped into his power source. He's tapped into the creator. He's tapped into the person that brought him here, right? And that even if unbearable heat, even if the worst kind of stuff comes at him, even if stuff is challenging and is difficult, on the outside, the tree is just fine, because under the ground, sometimes where you might not even notice it, you might not even see it, you might not even know it's there, but underground, its roots are reaching out and they are firmly attached to the stream that it's next to. They're firmly attached to the source of water that won't dry up, this moving, what the Bible would call living water. And because the tree's connected to living water, it won't wither and die away. I mean, are we rooted this morning in Jesus? Are we rooted in a way that no matter what today has in front of us, that we won't wither, that nothing will quite feel unbearable, that things can't shake us? Can we find contentment? Can we be happy and at peace with whatever might come along? Because our roots are attached to Jesus. We understand who loves us, who calls us by name, who knows us, who goes through life with us, and we're aware of his presence. We see the good that he brings along, no matter what the bad that might be happening around us is. So here's my challenge for you this morning. I want you to pray that God would help you to trust him more during this time. Pray, God, I, I pray that you would help me stretch my roots deeper into your stream, that I would be more rooted in what it is that you would have of me and for me. So let me pray for you this morning. God, please be with us today. May we understand your presence. May we see the good that you bring in our lives, regardless of the bad that we might see going on around us, God. May our roots be planted in your stream. May we understand our true source of life, and may we trust you today. I pray this in your name. Amen.